You may remember at last year's October General Conference, President Monson talked about receiving a jar of warm fuzzies from One Word's primary. The jar was filled with tiny pom-poms, each representing an act of kindness from the children. Well, now Deseret Book invites you to join the warm fuzzy movement.
Kathy, it's really just a simple three-step process. The first thing to do is to perform an act of kindness or service to someone else. The second thing is to come into the store to share that experience, to write it down on a note card and submit it here at one of our retail locations, or you can also do that online at deseretbook.com/warmfuzzy. And then the third step is we'll provide you with a warm fuzzy that you can put into the jar, either here at the flagship store or at any of our retail locations. We've already had a great response, Kathy, from many of our customers. Here are just a couple of fun examples maybe I can share with you. This comes from a young gal named Edison Wright here in Salt Lake City. She said, "I told my primary teacher she did a really good job with the lesson because she cried when she bore her testimony." Here's just another one of my favorites. This is from Leah Nyberg here in Riverton. She said, "When there was a new girl in my class and I holded her hand, it made her feel better. I told her my name and she told me her name." We'll be collecting warm fuzzies throughout the end of this calendar year, and then at the end of the year, we'll be presenting all of the warm fuzzies as well as those acts of kindness that have been written down. We're going to share those with President Monson.
Another way to send in your good deed is through Facebook. Deseret Book has a dedicated Facebook page called Warm Fuzzies for President Monson. In addition to sharing news of the church, we want to share your stories and thoughts. Each week on MormonTimes.com, we'll post a question and would love to see your answers. This week's question: what was mentioned at General Conference that had a strong impact on you? Here are a few responses.
Probably most of all what I took away from conference was that we need to be more obedient and to be more missionary-minded.
It's impressive to see some living prophets talking to us and tell us what we need to do and encourage us. Sometimes we feel discouraged. Life is hard. And listening to those guys, it gives you more hope.
One of the things that more impressed me was when they were talking to the youth.
We each just need to slow down and pay attention to the Spirit.
Now we want to hear from the rest of you. Go to MormonTimes.com, click on Your Times tab, and submit your answer to the form. It's that easy. We'll be back next week to share your answers. And if your answer is read on the air, we'll send a copy of the new President Monson biography to the rescue. Thanks so much for joining us. Next week on Mormon Times, a terminal illness won't keep a newlywed couple apart. Hear their story of faith, hope, and eternal blessings and how it's keeping their love alive. Please join us next week at 10 a.m.